Hello, hi there, lovely Scorpios, and welcome to your love reading for February 2017. I'm Bella, and how I work is I work with my spirit guides. So it's my spirit guides sort of passing on the key themes for you to consider as you go through the month of February when it comes to your love life. And if you don't know anything about me and my services, just look below. Do like, comment, and subscribe if you've liked this reading today. So just to kind of move on, I do know that for a lot of Scorpios, you're very much inward and it is about you. And this is regardless of whether you're in a long-term connection, whether you just had someone back, whether you're just dating. It is very much a good selfish attitude, and that's not a bad thing. And for those of you in the general, you're very focused on work. But I feel here, the theme I'm getting here is that you are going inward mainly, particularly if you, in the last month, have not been able to trust your instincts or trust somebody else, even though they are around you. So this would apply to people that are in a connection, just starting to date somebody, or someone's just come back. Like there's an overall feeling that you don't know whether you should trust them. And so therefore you're a bit like sitting on the fence. But how it's coming across is like you're not interested because you are being distracted or deliberately distracting yourself with stuff to do with work, but also you're going inside almost like mentally watching what this person does and logically absorbing that, trying to understand it and trying to also interpret it based on the way that you would handle things. So there's a little bit of tunnel vision going on, because sometimes when we go too inwards, too much, and we start to really logically balance things out, sometimes A doesn't add up to B, or 2 doesn't add up to 2 and 2 doesn't add up to 4. Sometimes it's good to be able to put ourselves in other people's shoes, but to do that effectively, you have to really be open and not think how you would think, but perhaps how other people might think. Because it feels to me that that other person is trying, but there's something that you don't think is that they're doing in the right way. It's not living up to your expectations. It's causing you to pause, to think. Or they're irritating you so much, or it's hurting you, or you believe it's hurting you too much because they're not doing what you think they should be doing, even though I can see they're trying. It's causing you to just feel low and not trust your own judgment. As we get to the second week, it doesn't seem to go away, if I'm being honest with you. For those of you who didn't release that in January, and this very much is about that aspect of you not internalizing things in that kind of way. Some of you may be quite cutting to that other person, because it feels to me that person, because you are going inward or distracting yourself with work or study, whatever it is, to kind of like almost like not hear them because they're not saying what it is you want them to say or not doing what it is you want them to do, that actually you might snap at them unnecessarily. Just, I guess it's one of those things, because I feel like no matter what I say, you may do this anyway, because it's the way you feel, and nobody can tell you not to feel the way that you feel. But I do know from the other persons, they're like doing a dance, going, "Hi, I'm here. You know, I do love you. What is it I need to do? I've done this. Oh gosh, that wasn't right. Maybe this, maybe that wasn't right." Without you effectively communicating with them about what your needs are. And I know for some of you, you're like, "I'm tired. I've told them so many times. Why can't they just get it?" So I get you. But sometimes some people need to be consistently told until they do get it. Because why? We all learn in different ways. Some of us take a bit longer than others to get it, to learn. But also, if it's winding you up that much, maybe they just aren't right for you. And I think that's for some of you the resistant mode you're in, like wanting them, having that hope, wanting them to change. You know, you can see that they did one thing right, but they're still not living up to your expectations. It's okay to let them go if you really feel that way, or just hold it back Give them a chance, put yourself in their perspective and their shoes, and see, actually, maybe the way you feel turns around because actually you can see from their efforts that they're making it. Because all relationships are about compromise, about give and take, about trying to put ourselves in the other person's shoes, but also about us trying to fill each other's needs. But if we don't tell them what our needs are, it's like roaming around with a blindfold on, isn't it? Trying to figure it out. So I'd say give them a biscuit and perhaps not snap as some of you may do in that second week. I feel this reading is very much about those who are in connections or in brand new connections or in connections which come back. Because it feels to me, if you're single when you're watching this, that feeling sort of may be there in terms of the people that you're meeting are not living up to your standards. And I would say keep your standards. You know, it's very different if you're single, because people will meet your standards because you're setting them high for a reason. And that's okay. But overall, I feel that this reading is specifically about those who are in connections, whether they're short or long term. This is how you feel. In the third week, again, I feel here that you're still disappointed. So I'm strongly going to say to you that there's quite a lot of you that will make a decision probably in that third week to free yourself, because you just, no matter what it is they're trying to do, you'll be like, I just don't think I can do it. They are still disappointing me even though they're trying and they're there, or they're just not what I expected. And that's okay. That is okay. You can give yourself that permission, because I feel here, particularly as we get to fourth week, which does shift, you free yourself. For those of you who don't make that decision, because you do start to see that the other person is trying their hardest, and you manage to put yourself from their perspective, or maybe lower your expectations, or express what it is you need, and then they listen, you'll start to feel better. You won't be so inward. You won't be so focused. And because some other things in your life are going really, really well, I think that's why you're feeling the imbalance when it comes to it, because it feels like your working career is going marvelously, and then you've got this thing that you're like, what is this connection? Why is it not making me feel the same way it does when I think about my work, career, and study? You know, I want balance in both those areas. Yes, you can get that, but you do need to communicate your needs in order for the other person who is trying, who does have feelings, who does love you, to help them. If you can do that, the last week's great. Because I feel like this has been a bit of a low reading. You'll be great because you've either freed yourself and you said, I don't want that person anymore, no matter how hard they try, it's just not working for me. Or you've said your need and they do it and you're like, oh, great. They get me. And it's not lost cause. They do love me, you know, because I think this is why you let go of them, because I think there's a perception that you don't think they love you when they actually do. And actually quite the opposite happens. So I think then you might become quite protective over wanting to keep that for yourself. Now that you have it and they've shown it and they can do it, you want to be their teacher more a little bit, without me sounding really condescending, but it's a bit like that. But also you feel very much like you want to grasp onto that, because now they are bringing up and raising your vibration and raising the relationship, and you can see that there's balance in that. It's not this you putting in the effort or you perceiving that you're putting in the effort. It's the flow is better, and therefore you want to hold on to it. I think also I have to say, for some of you who may let go of that connection because it's going to free you, don't be surprised. This is a forewarning now, that if you do let go, don't be surprised that they move on to somebody very quickly, because it may spin you out. It may compound your thought and your feeling that you did the right thing in the first place, basically. I thought, great, I really did need to let them go. And it's a very small number this applies to. Or it may make you think you've made the wrong decision and want to try to get them back. But I would say that's an illusion because of them moving on so quickly. So just watch for that. So I do hope that's helped. I feel it's, I don't know, it's a difficult one, I think, this month, because what you feel is real, what the other person feels is real, and communication, I think, is a theme that doing that sooner rather than later will help you get to that euphoric place at the end of the month so much sooner, because at the end of the month when we have the solar eclipse, it is about new beginnings. And I think for lots of you, if you're going to make that decision to end this, you'll do it by the 13th when we have the lunar eclipse. But whatever your decision, as you get to the end of the month, you're feeling in control, you're feeling free, or you're feeling like the other person does love you, and all the thoughts that you had that were perhaps doom and gloom were just that. You just needed to get yourself into their perspective, or to at least tell them how they could help be better, because they want to be. When you tell them, they will do it. So tell them. And I do hope that's helped you today. Take care. Oh, before I go, do look below if you've liked this. Do comment, do share, and join my Facebook community. Or if you'd like to have a private reading, again, the links are just down below. And now I'm going. Thank you. Take care.